What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of The Take On with myself, Flex, and Mr. Danny Murphy and Anton Ferdinand. We're back with another episode. First of all, just had to let you guys know really quickly, 100k mark. It's just the norm, really, with what we're doing. Like, it's just the norm. 100,000 views or over 100,000 views each week, consecutive weeks, 4 weeks in a row, I believe. So keep it up. We really do appreciate you guys supporting the show. We're going through the comments. Some people have said, Anton's actually all right. I never knew he was like this. Some people have said, Danny, actually, I've gone back and looked at some of his highlights. He actually was good. He does know what he's talking about. Some of you say that Flex is all right. So you're learning more about us every single week. And
by the way, for about 3 of them, you've not been here.
Not them 100. Anytime there's been a 100k one, I've been here, yeah? It might be the other way around. But let's get straight into this week's episode. Newcastle United. VAR, obviously they played in Paris last night. We've been talking about VAR in this country, and we've seen it in a different competition with maybe a different, set of standards with UEFA. But the game's broke.
It was hard to take for Newcastle, I'm sure, and the supporters. It was a ridiculous decision. There are positives, first and foremost. I think start with them. I mean, the performance first half was really good. Yes, they hung on a little bit second half, but still, to go to PSG with the firepower they've got, defend, be disciplined, well organised. The young lad in midfield, 17, what a performance.
Yep.
Lewis Miley was terrific. But I've got to give a shout out to Livramento before we get to the VAR, because I know he's waited his time to get in the team, but since he's going to, what a player he looks.
He looks really good.
Great one-on-one defender.
Yep.
Good going forward. Play left or right back, and we've got to get him in the England squad quick before he chooses Portugal.
Whoa, what?
Do you know what?
Saying get him in straight away?
There's only Luke Shaw ahead of him at the minute for me in terms of form.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Listen, I agree with that. He can play both, and he plays both of them very well. I saw it, even though Southampton went down, I saw it in a Southampton shirt. His desire to his will to defend, and his desire to get on the ball, to get forward. A modern day fullback, and the fact that he can play on both flanks, and do them identical, by the way, because it is different. For anyone who don't know, it's different defending on your wrong foot. Very different. But he can do it well on both. And if Luke Shaw's the only one ahead of him in an England jersey, then I'll take him. But if it's right back that he wants to play, I'd look elsewhere, because there's so many good fullbacks that we've got.
Yeah, it's certainly a plus to have him now. That's for sure. Is he another one Chelsea let go?
Yeah. Yep, another one.
Come out
my God. But onto the VAR. Yeah. Onto the VAR. I mean, it's in Europe. You do get these bizarre handballs for some reason. Probably a bit more than you do in the Prem. Although we've had some this season. The thing that was strange about it the most was the referee, who's one of the best in the world, they say. I think he had the World Cup finals, and he is good. He had a brilliant game. He didn't take any nonsense from the PSG players. Anytime players were going over of both kinds for nothing, he just let them play go. He had a brilliant game to this point. And the fact he didn't give it, even though he was called over, I don't know why, I thought because he's so strong that he's probably going to look at that and go, look, you've called me over, but it's not a pen. But he didn't. He folded. And I don't know whether I don't know whether it was a case of, I don't know, in your head you're in Paris and there's however many, they're going mental and you think, I've got to get out here later.
That's self-preservation.
You don't want to serious note. Sorry, mate, just one more. I do think there needs addressing, and this is something we maybe move on to in a minute. Monday night's VAR and all that stuff, and VAR in the Prem. The amount of times they get called over to the screen, but always go with the VAR's decision.
Always.
Is there something in the way the VAR is talking to the referee when he's going over that causes this high percentage? Because hasn't there only been 2 or 3
that have been overturned?
I can't even remember. Yeah,
or not just overturned or stuck to their original.
I've rarely seen it, if at all. So
do you think there should be a change in that?
I think there needs to be open communication where everybody hears what's going on. I think, like what rugby, they do it in rugby where from the start to the finish you can hear everything that's being said. It's the only way that I think VAR can get any credibility, is to now have an open channel of communication live when it's happening. I think that's what it is. And common sense really is to have somebody who played the game in there talking about it, for the simple fact, like, the ball's at his chest and then hit his arm. I know the rules state that if it hits your arm, it's a penalty. However, a player understands and knows the movement and everything and the body position you're in. When it comes off your chest and then hit your arm, it's nearby impossible to get out of the way of it.
Well, the rule actually allows you, if it comes off another part of your body to hit the arm, it's not actually supposed to be a pen.
It hits the thigh and hits the arm.
But that's what I'm saying. Then why are they getting it so wrong? Why are they getting it so wrong? So I think you have to have somebody in that room who's actually played the game, and then you listen to them live, hear what they're saying to the referees. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the problem with it is that, and I'm sure there are some good VAR people, they're not all bad, but some of the decisions are unbelievably bad. And the problem is that there's our opinions on what we see and what we know, and then linking that to the law. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, some of the laws, and if we talk about handball quickly, because my view is on it quite strong, is it's really not difficult to just make it black and white, which is deliberate handball and handball that stops a goal. Mm-hmm. Now, some people will say that's subjective, whether it's intentional or not. And me and Anton was speaking before, I think you agree, is that how many handballs do you ever see where you don't know whether it's accidental or deliberate?
Yeah.
You do know. If you know you've played, you know, don't you?
Yeah, he didn't mean that. Oh, come on, he's not.
You can tell when someone's
where can he put his arms? Or flipping like he's jumping like a madman, his arms out there.
Yeah.
You're asking for trouble.
It's really not difficult.
Exactly.
Like the one, you know, like when an attacking player scoops the ball, like lifts the ball off the floor, you can see whether a defender's taking his arm towards the ball with his body, with it next to him. You can see whether they're taking their arm to the ball or not. So listen, I'm in full agreement with that. I just think for VAR to have any type of resurrection in terms of the way people look at it, there needs to be open communication lines so everyone hears what's being said from start to finish. I think when you got that, there's no hiding place. And then when people are actually being critical, it's justified. You know, I heard Simon Jordan say it, I think the other day, saying that there's managers that when it goes for them, don't say nothing. But when it goes against them, they're very, very vocal and very, very active. I think that takes that all out of the equation. Because now, if you're vocally active, but you hear what's being said, you almost look like a hypocrite. You look like an idiot when you're talking. You can't do that. I think that opens everything up so people stop talking about VAR the way they do. It has to be.
Yeah. Well, if we move it to the Premier League, I mean, you said you went to the Cottage, and I watched that game Monday night as well. I mean, Gary Neville afterwards, I thought he spoke so well.
Did well.
Because you can tell, you know, well, he said it. He said, get rid of it now. I was for it. It's ridiculous. And obviously, they've been affected by it so badly, so significantly. And he's fed up of getting the, you know, it first started at Old Trafford. He got an apology, etc., etc. What's your take on those ones as well? Because again, it's just ruining our game.
Well, I think for me, there's a problem with the competency around the people doing VAR, obviously. And I think it does allude back to the same point of understanding football. So, for example, the game the other night where you had the first penalty for Fulham, where the lad got the ball, just nicked the ball and then brushed him on the way through. It wasn't like get the ball Romero-like.
But he still followed through.
And took him. Nothing like that. And actually, the
Semedo one you're talking about.
Yeah, so but the official said to Gary O'Neill after the game, if he'd been sent to the VAR, he would have changed his mind and not given the pen. Yeah. But he didn't get asked to go to the VAR. Why was he not sent? Whereas the next penalty, he didn't give. No. He did get asked to go to VAR. And again, it was a dive. I mean, it was Wilson dived. He made the most of it. He's not the only one, by the way. We've seen many players do it. And then, of course, you've got the headbutt. And they said to Gary O'Neill that it was a soft headbutt. Well, that's all right.
Soft headbutt.
I mean,
it's a soft two-footed tackle.
The fact is, if he'd have gone down, he was off.
Exactly.
So, without going through it all in terms of every decision, what do I think? I think there's got to be more clarity around, and I agree with Anton in terms of let's get the conversations out there. That's got to help improve things. Maybe it won't fix everything, but I think it will help. I think there needs to be a higher bar for VAR to get involved in incidents. And when I say high bar, I mean really high, whereas it might even go the other way, where some penalties are, but they don't get given. because that's the better thing. And the reason for me it's the better thing is because what we've got now is players simulating or cheating, whatever word you want to use, diving, going over on any touch, trying to manipulate contact to go over, to cheat and manipulate the referees because they know they'll get them.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go the other way, you're not going to get that as much. So Matt Kilman, who I really like, by the way, what player he is.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He's old school. Because I wouldn't have gone down if I didn't need to go down.
Doing that. Look at this guy, ref. You seen that?
Him and Wolves are punished for his honesty.
Yeah.
If he goes down and tries to cheat, even though he's not hurt, which we see all the time.
Harry Kane, remember the Harry Kane one last year? The Everton one. Everyone was saying he got Decore sent off, didn't he? Yeah. You absolute, just look at him rolling around. But of course, we don't want to see that in our game. But if you don't do that,
you don't get the decision.
But the only way you change that is getting this bar really high and retrospective punishment. So if you're caught cheating,
now afterwards they go back and say actually he is banned for that.
Well, what I mean is there used to be a panel. I was part of a group. There was quite a few ex-players. I only did it for a year or two, weirdly. And I used to be part of a group where you'd get a phone call and a video sent through. It was only for in the box penalties, not given. And is it a dive? Is it not? So I had one for Lanzini. I think it was at Stoke or somewhere like that. He dived and got a pen, right? And I remember voting on it. And he died, said he's cheated, it's dive. Unanimous decision. He got retrospective banning order.
So what, they go back and give him like a 1-game ban or something?
Yeah. But they stopped.
I don't remember that happening. Yeah.
Well, you're probably a young one. You're young.
No, mate. I'm joking. I'm there. I'm present. I don't remember that happening.
It stopped.
Yeah.
So cut a long story short, because we're going on about VAR. My feeling is higher bar on VAR intervention, as in when are they coming in? Why get involved in that?
Yeah.
And the other thing I'd like to see, and just be interested in the viewers' opinions on this, you put a time limit on the VAR. So you go 60 seconds. If you're still looking at a penalty tackle,
then it means it's not enough.
You've got to go on field.
What about the other side of that, though?
Yeah.
If they're getting it wrong they've got 8 minutes, if you're talking about trying to get rid of the human error, if you're putting time constraints to say, right, literally like countdown, ding, 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 and then I don't know. Yes, it is.
Deal with it.
Then what? Then we might get decisions get given, and they go, if I just had more time to reflect, I actually wouldn't do that. 60
seconds is not enough to see a clear and obvious error?
It should be, I agree.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But they're so incompetent, though, I worry that actually that clock starts ticking, Anton, and then they go, oh, shit, go on, yeah.
No, that's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
But I think what Murph's saying is, if it gets 60 seconds and they still can't make their mind up, then it's got to go back to the referee. The referee's got to be like,
stick with
how did you see it on field? And I think that's what we're going away from. There's less and less on-field decisions that are being made. Like, that's what made football great. Let's have it right. The on-field decisions made football great. It's almost like now it's being tampered with. So your emotions are being tampered with, which heightens your emotions. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when it's on-field, you still get heightened, but it's almost forgivable at times. Do you know what I mean?
The problem you've got, I know we're still going on about bloody VAR, but the problem you've got is, I would wish it gone, but you might get the Henry against Ireland. You might get the Maradona.
Yeah, but I know you might get it.
How many have we had though?
Let's be honest though.
They are iconic moments.
But football is for iconic moments. Yeah. We all lived with it for ages. Yeah. That's what happens. That Henry thing will live on. There wasn't another Henry thing the very next game. There wasn't another Henry thing the next week. When was the next one that happened? Lampard with the ball thing? Yeah? They're few and far between. And that we can live with more than every single week there's something else.
Do you think... Sorry, we went off piece, didn't we, when we got on to VAR, but do you think Newcastle will qualify?
So they have to beat Milan at home and hope that Dortmund beat PSG.
Or draw. I think PSG have got a win in Dortmund.
Is it in Dortmund as well? PSG ain't great.
It ain't great, and the other thing is, because I thought Dortmund might not play their best teams, they're already through, but if PSG beat them...
And Newcastle win.
If PSG beat Dortmund are through, anyway.
Oh, right.
But if PSG beat Dortmund...
They go above them.
So they're going to finish second and get tougher. Right.
I just think the fact that it's not in their hands now...
is a travesty, but do you think they go through?
I think they'll do their job.
Go through.
I think they'll do their job of beating Milan at home.
I think Dortmund will beat PSG.
And then it's in the land of the gods, isn't it? And I would fancy Dortmund against PSG. Dortmund home, yeah.
I think one thing for sure, they're going to be in Europe after Christmas.
With Mainoo in Europa.
Yeah,
probably.
whether it's and us West Ham. I think.
And Liverpool, I can't say that.
I think they'll finish third. I think, and they'll be in the Europa League. But it'd be fantastic for the City.
Yeah.
If they stay in the Champions League, because
especially out of that group.
Oh, exactly.
Group of death, as they say.
People doubted them, but again, they've shown what they're capable of.
Let us know. Obviously, a little bit of a lengthy situation on VAR there. We'll quicken it up a little bit now, but we just couldn't move on from it that quick because it's just so annoying. Let's go to the Premier League. 3-horse title race. Obviously, your boys getting a draw at City. Arsenal going to the top of the league with a hard-fought win against Brentford last minute. Obviously, they all wanted Kai Havertz sold. I've seen Joel sort of giving it King Kai, all this stuff. He's been cussing him every week. Narrative FC. Goodbye, all that stuff. Is this a genuine 3-horse race?
Do you know what? I've got to bring it to the table. I've been having a bit about with some Arsenal fella on like YouTube guy. I don't know. I come just talking nonsense. Anyway,
name names.
I don't know the fella. Show me after. so I basically said that I think Liverpool finish above Arsenal, probably be
can't say that to them.
Better competitor for City because of their firepower. They've got 5 forwards. If you had that group of forwards, I'd have them ahead of Arsenal's group, right? Which caused, some people agree, some don't. That's fine.
Yeah. Wait, hold on a minute. Sorry, that's actually an unbelievable debate, by the way. Salah or Saka?
Well, no, that's
Martinelli or Diaz.
Diaz, yeah. Their numbers are similar, but I'd have Diaz.
Let us know, guys. Who would you rather have?
Let me. I'm going to take it off here because this Arsenal Liverpool thing's been going. It's been going a bit mad on my socials, or not say socials, on private messages, and I said, for me, there's only 3 Arsenal players who get in Liverpool's team. Now, don't get me wrong, individuals don't make a team. It's a collective, and the coach. And Arsenal are coached brilliantly and doing really well. So this ain't a dig at Arsenal. But I'm saying only 3 Arsenal players get in Liverpool's team.
But could they say there's only 3 of yours that get in theirs? Because I feel like it's a preferential thing where you're sticking with what you've got because you know it's good.
Hold on.
And the Arsenal fans will say, well, listen, we're top of it. I wouldn't stop anything.
That's why I'm bringing it to you two. I've got my view.
Okay.
Your Man U, your West Ham.
Right.
My view is Saliba next to Van Dijk. Declan Rice in the midfield, Odegaard and Szoboszlai as a 3. My front 3, I'd have Salah. You can't start moving people's positions, by the way.
You're just saying the 3. No. But that matters,
because obviously Saka would probably get in a joint 11.
But it matters.
No, this was the debate I had.
You can't just put Saka on the left.
I'm just telling you how it went on the chat.
All right. Yeah.
Salah, I obviously went on the right ahead of Saka because
he's Salah.
Yeah. I had Nunez ahead of Jesus because I think he's got a bit more of a goal threat. Well, he has statistically since he's been at Liverpool compared to Jesus. Done the numbers. And Diaz and Martinelli is a toss-up because their numbers are nearly similar in terms of goals and assists. So,
it's a great debate, by the way.
Who would you left back? Robertson or Zinchenko?
Robertson.
Trent or Ben White?
Trent.
Now, you could argue defensively Ben White, but Trent you're having all day.
Trent, all time to have on the pitch.
And then someone actually said to me they'd have Gabriel and Van Dijk. I was like, pardon?
No. Yeah, so so no go that way.
However,
the goalkeeper's not a question.
Gabriel's brilliant, and
goalkeeper's not a question.
It's not a contest.
Yeah.
So what we do? Answer me your question because I'll go
Saliba and Van Dijk. I would, although it has been said, and I think Rio made a good point in terms of the partnership.
Yeah, but they'd make a partnership.
That Saliba and Gabriel have is solid, and that wins that wins you trophies. But if we're going off individuals going into a team, you're going to pick Van Dijk over Gabriel, 100%. So Saliba and Van Dijk, the midfield. Oof.
It's got to be that Odegaard, Szoboszlai, Rice.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, Thomas Partey, I mean, even Joel wants him sold. Do you know what I mean? It's not a thing.
Playing.
Yeah, El Neni, no chance. Jorginho.
Do you think he's actually injured?
Or just don't want to play?
Don't know.
Like, seriously, do you think he's actually injured?
By the way, I just say on this before I get really dug out, I do think Arsenal are defensively better than Liverpool.
They are.
They are defensively better.
Yeah. And Arsenal haven't even hit gear yet.
And you can win things being really good defensively. Yeah. I'm not saying this is just a bit of fun, as in, if I was tomorrow told to pick an 11 for a game, I'd only have 3.
But the interesting thing about it is down to like the just the preference of kind of what you prefer. Because realistically,
well, go on then. What do you prefer? Stop dodging around the question.
I said it. I would rather have Liverpool's. I said that.
No,
team
11. There. How many?
I literally agree with everything.
So your midfield is Salabsai, Rice.
Yep. So you're saying 3.
I agree. Yeah, and
3.
then I'm going Robertson left back. I'm going Van Dijk and Saliba. I'm going Trent.
Yeah.
I'm going Salah. The Darwin Nunez Jesus one.
Not sure.
I would literally flip a coin and whatever you gave me, I'll take.
Who would you rather play against?
I'd rather play against Jesus.
There you go. There's your answer. Of course you would.
I would. Man.
Why? Do you want to know why?
Nah, I don't know.
No, I do. I want to know why.
Nunez takes you back towards your own goal.
Yes, rapid.
Jesus doesn't. He don't run.
And he's better in the air.
He don't run.
Get the ball off him though. You can't.
I love Jesus.
He rattles you. You can't get the ball off him.
That's fine.
Quality.
They're both not clinical.
No, I'm not saying Jesus isn't. Jesus is top. He's a good player. Yeah. I really like him. But for a defender, I'd rather play against somebody who you can't get the ball off of up at the halfway line, outside the box, can leave them. However, if someone's running, taking you that way, you ask any defender, that's the run they don't want to make. If you're continuously running back towards your own goal, you don't want to do that.
Okay.
He stretches you, and by the way, puts you under immense pressure.
So you've got 4.
That's why.
Yeah, and I don't massively detest with that. That's a 50-50.
But you'd go Diaz
Martinelli.
Tough one.
Martinelli's wicked, man.
Martinelli. No, listen.
He just gets change out there. He just doesn't stop. He don't stop. But I think the problem that we've seen is because Diaz has had obviously what's gone on just recently, and then the big injury, the sample size isn't there. So I'd probably go with, I know more I'm getting with Martinelli since he's been here, because
I'm going to say this. I love Diaz. I think everything he stands for, everything he does, he's got that star quality. Yeah, superstar quality, I think. And he's come in and filled Mane's shoes and flipping done it really well.
Yeah.
But Martinelli, man, seriously, he gets me off my seat.
They're both proper.
He gets me off my seat. He gets me off my seat, Martinelli.
So you got 4, he's got 4.
Yeah, but basically, I hear what you're saying. It's very close, and you have to see.
We've gone off track here.
We have.
What do you guys think?
This is the take on. This is what it's about. This is the take on.
I hope, that Arsenal and Liverpool take it to the wire with City.
Yeah. Give us an entertainment.
My gut feeling is it won't happen.
Think City will.
Who do you think falls off?
Both the question. I think
when you say fall off, I don't even think it'll be fall off. I think it'll just, like, the City will be that consistent.
Go and win 12 on the spin or something.
And then they'll just lose the title by 4 points or something, 5 points.
I think
9 and 8, 9.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's all said and done.
City have just got gears.
I think that's going to happen, but I think we're going to see more this year with Arsenal why they've needed a number 9 who scores more goals than Jesus.
Speaking of scoring goals,
we're going to see it. The reason why, before we head on, the reason why is because I think they've got a midfield now who can compete. Like Declan, I'm just saying because he played for West Ham, but the consistency that he shows week in, week out,
it's proper, man.
Is what Arsenal missed last year. Now they've got that in the heart of their midfield, by the way. Now they've got that. He allows Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard to not do as much defensively. He allows that, by the way.
Him one as well. That's without Partey, by the way.
Yes, he allows them to do that. They've got that. What they haven't got is a 25-goal striker.
You don't always need one to win the league. City done it
loads. Firmino was always there, never did it.
But they're going to need. They
had Salah though, didn't they?
They're going to need that players who contributed. They're going to need that because they're up against something that is superior in Man City. So I think this year is going to be more telling for Arsenal that where they're going to need to spend their money come maybe January or in the summer.
They're not far off. Arsenal not far off, and they're top of the league. Speaking of scoring goals, Alejandro Garnacho, I challenge any of your players this season to score a better goal than that.
Go on YouTube and watch my goal.
Now.
Go on YouTube and watch my goal.
I don't care about no five-a-side thing or whatever it was.
What is in the Prem, bro? Five-a-side, don't give me that.
VHS or Premier League.
Tell me what game, I need to see this.
Fulham.
Yeah?
Yeah, at home, at Upton Park.
Overhead kick?
It wasn't. It was over my shoulder.
Oh no!
I was facing my goal.
It's not the same.
I think I
facing my goal. Ball goes over my shoulder.
No.
On the swivel.
I hope not.
On the swivel. Bang. Top corner. Sorry.
But Garnacho's goal.
I'm not saying. Listen, that goal was exceptional.
Are we going to see a better goal than that this season?
I doubt it.
No.
The only way you see a better goal is if you like a different type of goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that is
Someone
just
scored from the halfway line or something.
well, or some amazing team goal like Arsenal years ago.
Yeah,
that one where it was Norwich or Fulham. Yeah.
Can I just say though, the way that Flex is getting excited about this goal and the way
he does. This is what he does.
Give him the goal of the season.
Yeah.
It just tells you where Man United's at, to be honest with you.
Here we go. I love this. I'm glad you did that.
Why?
Because I've sat in this room, with the likes of you and you guys at home, giving it, he's lost the dressing room, it's all over. His ego's got the better of him.
It has.
You're out there twerking for Sancho every week, putting free Sancho. I've seen you, and you send me it. And I say to you, I say, grow up. I say to you, free Sancho. Look at the form guide in the Premier. We won the last 5 out of 6. Now, listen, Man United are going to lose games.
Yeah.
Man United are going to lose games, okay? We need players get back. There's still a lot going on at the football club. We're not healed. We're not fixed. We're not back, However, it just shows you our worst start in 36 years, 34 years ever. Well, we're 6 points off the top. We're in and around where everyone thought Man United would be. So, is it crisis over and just leave us alone for a bit and let us just navigate?
Do you know what I think it is, Flex? It's the way it happened, isn't it? You know, when you have a really bad spell condensed and it's like game after game, it felt for a little while like every United game they were struggling and getting worse.
But the thing is, we didn't even lose back-to-back games in the Prem.
No, we don't beat anyone in the top 10, do you? Or top 8, you haven't beaten anyone.
Well,
and you play anyone, you play anyone decent in Europe and you lose.
Yeah.
So that's where it come from. The fact is that this next month's going to be the one.
I've always said that.
You've got Newcastle away, Chelsea, Liverpool, Bournemouth, right?
And Galatasaray
away, and then Munich.
Welcome to hell.
That's what I'm saying.
So have you got the players with the mental ability to deal with that type of game?
We're going to find out. They've proved.
Welcome to hell.
They've proved that no, and in my opinion, I think we will go out of the Champions League.
Do you?
I think we will go out of the Champions League.
I think you take it the last game.
Hopefully, we'll know by tonight.
I think Wilfred's going to have a say.
We're capable. We're capable.
Really
do you know what a big plus is for Man U amidst all the negativity is the young lad Mainoo, his debut. I mean, I watched
your piece on him, word for word, because I thought I want to see how you dissect it. I want to commend you for that.
Thank you.
Because you were spot on.
Well, I tell you what, I was sitting there with it was just me and JJ at the time. Theo turned up late on his first day, but anyway.
It's Arsenal, isn't it?
Come on,
made
Theo,
Arsenal. Standards are low, mate. Standards are low.
So it was just me and JJ, and the ball went into him. I showed it the first.
Yeah.
Instead of going, normally I'd be going, vroom, get it up, mate, get me for. Bump and got it back outside the right foot round there. I was like, me and JJ went,
he can play. Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah. And I will say this as well. Arsenal fans laughed at me in the pre-season because in pre-season we played him in the MetLife Stadium.
He was good, wasn't he? Apparently.
And I was giving it narrative FC's pre-season there. So I'm going to Robbie. I'm going, Declan Rice, 105 million. Listen, my little kid, mate, 18 had him in. Where's Declan mate? Declan Now, obviously, just giving it. But in that one game, he was incredible.
Yeah,
and he was up until he played Real Madrid, and he's been injured ever since. And you never want to overhype players and say that they're going to be the next this and the next that. And I'm going to refrain from that. But what I can see with my own eyes now is one, that he's ready to play. One, he looks very mature for how he is. And it says a lot about his character that Ten Hag has gone. I've got Sofyan Amrabat, who's played in a World Cup semi-final in the summer. Yeah, he's played in against you in the Conference League final. He's an experienced player. Got slapped. Although Declan Rice didn't do anything in that game. Amrabat was actually very good in that game. You got shit in that game.
Oh, did we win?
I mean, he
got slapped. Okay.
Anyway, yeah. But what it says.
That's where I was working.
Is that Ten Hag said, no, away at Goodison Park, when that had the potential to be as volatile as it comes. Difficult game. I'm going to give this kid his Premier League start over an experienced player like Amrabat. Shows you everything you need to know about.
But also, holding midfield.
Exactly.
So normally you think, I'll stick someone else in there, stick him to the side where he can...
Away at Goodison and all.
I know.
Yeah.
Hard place to go.
Goal line clearances, awareness.
That's one of the hardest places I've been,
taking the ball forward.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest places away from...
They didn't make it that way, did they, at the weekend?
No.
Anyway, him, normally I would worry about a midfielder without a physical, as in size, to play that role. Because a lot of them you see have got that wonderful physicality, like Declan Rice, Casemiro in his day.
6 foot plus,
Well, Partey don't even get a mention in them. Partey don't even get a mention in them positions.
Nah, not anymore.
What's happened to him? We're talking about him being the best thing.
But when you look, maybe I'm going over the top because he's young, but I'm not saying he's going to be as good. But
say it. Go on. Who does he remind you of?
Can they?
Oh, wow. Nah, he can't get about like that, Danny. Chill.
He can get about.
He ain't got lungs like that. No, not that.
The lungs grow all the time.
Nah, I can't take chill.
But you know what I mean? Chill. Dynamics, like quick, cross the ground, cover the ground,
Can I admit to you, like, mad things I thought in my head of, like, when you see, because it's a safe space.
Come on,
yeah?
it is.
I'm not going to lie.
It's the take on. It's the take on.
That's how gas I got, yeah. When I sort of see shades of him, I'm going, bro, that's like Pogba. That's like Pogba, like a prime Pogba. A Pogba that, like, if you go and try and press him, I'll drop a shoulder, I'm off. A Pogba that goes, if I want to accelerate, give a little bit to get away from you, to discourage you from trying to be with me, no problem. If I want to play a little nonchalant pass, little dink over the top in today, you didn't really see it coming, I'll give it. Want me to scan and look very composed under some pressure? It just gives me, I don't want to say a prime Pogba vibe, because Pogba did things in his prime individually in games that a lot of players couldn't do. He just couldn't replicate it at a consistent level, which made him not fulfill his potential. But
he's got the potential.
I look at it and I just go,
I think it's natural to compare to things you've seen.
I can't not.
You know, I'm using Mainoo there, and Canny's a ledge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got a long way to go for that. But there's similar traits. You just see things, don't you?
Yeah.
And I think it's like any player. It's seeing things in a player that you know can be developed. It's just whether you can... A lot of young players look like they've got everything they need, and sometimes don't fulfill it because we don't know what's in here yet.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like, Alan, don't you? That pressure.
Oh.
Whoever you are, whoever you've got around you, something in you's got to deal with the pressure 100%. Of being a top player.
Yeah.
And not everyone can.
Also, as a young player, you got to deal with the fact that you're taking a senior player's place, and they don't like it. So they're going to be on you in training. They're going to give you the worst balls possible to make you look bad, because some senior players are like that.
They don't wish the best.
They don't wish the best for you. That's a fact. Yeah, but I'm going to surprise you. I'm actually going to give Ten Hag his flowers here. He has...
Hold on. What camera do you want to do it to?
I'm going to go right there.
I want you to talk to Eric.
He has had a sleepless night. I think he's probably gone a bit mad.
Go on.
The young lad has got the right manager in Ten Hag, as we've seen over the years, by the way. Yeah, you can get involved in this if you want. But he's got the right manager...
Why? What
to nurture, because that's what he's best at. He's proven he can't deal with personalities and bigger personalities, but when there's younger players involved, there's no getting away from it. He is top drawer.
Yeah, that's what he does. Yeah,
it's what he does best. So I think that he has got the right manager at this stage in his career to bring the best out of him and nurture that talent.
Woo! Wasn't expecting that.
So leave your
What do you think?
Just leave it. It's gone. You can let go of it.
No, I'm always going to say about Sancho.
Yeah,
I'm always going to say about Sancho.
You can see that we have to move on.
No,
I like that.
No, you got to move on. But I'll always say about Sancho. Always.
Cool. One last thing, just really quickly. There was a bit of blasphemy that a content creator was talking about, and sometimes because you guys played the game. Sometimes in this YouTube world, and you know, people have opinion. Anyone can get a mic, sort of thing. People say stupid things and some crazy things. I wanted to say, guy called Joel Bayer, he said that Kieran Trippier is better than Gary Neville. I just wanted the floor's open as we wrap the show, just to quickly give any thoughts.
Kieran Trippier is a very talented player.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good player. But he's not Gary Neville.
Why not? What, how can that not be?
Just elite mindset, mentality. Consistency. Now you could argue Trippier technically is a better, because he technically, but you don't see Gary Neville pinging free kicks or crossfield balls. But as a right back defender, relationship with Beckham, covering Rio, covering whoever his centre half was, longevity, staying at the top, England right back, winning leagues and all that. It's
different.
No, it's not an argument.
People forget. I think Gary Neville. I think Steve House has spoke about it. Gary Neville needs to stop downplaying his career, because what he does.
No, but that's him. I know
it's so humble. Listen, I get that, but what
wasn't Gary Neville. Wasn't
people like Joel have seen that and gone, yeah, no one does want to grow up to be a Gary Neville. Actually, no, let's have it right. Gary Neville was the best fullback in the country for like 10 years.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, we've got to look at the game's evolved.
Yeah, in this.
However,
he did struggle with me playing on the left in the League Cup final in 2003. What's your bet?
Give him the runaround.
However, one thing that's underestimated with Gary Neville, he could deliverable.
Yeah,
when Beckham used to set the ball
good
back for
crosser,
him, he could deliverable.
At England, it was a job.
Yeah, telepathic. So basically, just quickly, what do you think to Joel's assessment that is
I think
true?
it was probably a bit rushed, that statement. I think it was a bit rushed.
And what advice would you give to Joel going forward before he decides to make a sort of claim?
Count to 10.
Joel, that was a bad take.
Yeah.
An awful take.
There you go. The worst one. He's won the worst take of the week. Thank you guys. Smash a like on this video. Always get involved in the comments like you guys do. We go through them. We get the feedback. We understand how you're feeling about everything. And we see you same time, same place next week. Take care. Peace.